Welcome to Primetime. We've got two big championship bouts on the docket, as well as two amazing tag team classic eliminators, thus leaving us with a number one contenders bout for the Undisputed Women's World Championship for next week's Fallon 4 title belt defenses weeks. It's an epic card. Let's get into the first match.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Undisputed Women's Television Championship.
Certainly right, we kick it off with a championship bout. And out first comes the challenger. It's all about the glamour as Mariah May, well now Blake Monroe, takes center stage against a foe she already owns a W over. Going back to Dual Dream in the mixed tag tournament, Mariah May and Will Ospreay netted a heavy dub against AJ Styles and Fallon Henley. Tonight, Mariah's looking to replicate that W, earn herself a championship here in IPW against arguably the toughest star in the women's division. Can she do so? Well, there's one thing she's got to do, and that is saddle up, because it's time to ride with the cowgirl. Two-belt Fallon, ready to airplane herself to the ring. And it looks like she isn't alone, as always. Backed up by Kiana James. Fatal Influence. A unit ready to showcase their dominance. And it's interesting to note, Fallon Henley, her list of accomplishments grows. Obviously, a former Women's North American Champion in NXT, now the WWE Speed Women's Champion. Certainly an interesting prospect to have her as champ, but yes, another accolade. I guess you could call her three-belt Fallon, holding now both the Undisputed Women's and Television Championship here in IPW. Enough of the glazing. It's time to get into the action. Alicia Taylor, take it away with official championship introductions.
Introducing the challenger from London, England, Blake. And her opponent from Chelsea, Michigan, the Undisputed Women's Television Champion and the Undisputed Women's World Champion, Fallon Henley.
The champ letting Blake know what's on the line as the Television Championship lifted into the air by our official. Blake stretching, limbering herself up for one bumpy ride as the second week of Fallon Championship bouts begins with a flurry of punches from the challenger. This is obviously her second of 4 defenses in the build-up to cash out, as Henley last week survived a war with Bayley, retained her Undisputed World Championship. Not heavyweight, because these women are certainly not in that weight class, oh no. But yes, Henley we've seen week in, week out show why she is a top billing here in IPW. She loves to dissect her opponents, and tonight she's looking for some revenge here against Blake Monroe. Obviously, not the Undisputed Women's World Championship on the line. The Television Championship, a slight step down in competition. But still, the same champion regardless, and you expect Fallon to really deliver in these sorts of performances. Nice drop kick there. As for Blake Monroe, last week put on a very solid performance against her opponent that was obviously Kalani Jordan. And in that performance, she shut out really Kalani from giving any big time offense. And after the match, I guess there was a little bit of gamesmanship from Blake, obviously utilizing Fatal Influence's theme in her victory. Not something that I think may have caught people off guard, especially the champion saying it's your move. But Fallon, right now, getting overpowered here by Blake. Finally, Henley taking advantage, pushing Monroe into the ropes. Looking for a clean break, and this time it is delivered. The first one, not so clean, but Henley... Oh, I thought there for a second Kiana was going to remove that top turnbuckle in a very inopportune time, obviously, with Blake and Henley fighting that corner, but not going to be the case, as that's a load of big stiff shots coming in from Monroe there, dropping Fallon. But once again, the champion back to her feet, back on the attack, pump handle, falling away with that slam. Into the pin goes the champion, looking to retain in a quick instance, but no. The challenger kicks out, but kicking out's never the answer, because that kick, no, not going to connect. That usually is a setup to the hoedown, but we're not getting to that party atmosphere just yet. Instead, we're going to have to ride a little longer with Blake Monroe, the glamour in control. Sling blade connecting from the challenger, who opts for the pin here. Gets a 2. Near fall on the champion, who is forced to kick out. Challenger, we're going to keep the pressure on. Can't grab a hold of the champ. Henley wise to the antics. Sends Monroe running into the referee. Maybe a fatal mistake there by the champ. Or maybe it's a bad position for our referee to be stood in. Regardless of that, Henley's still in control. Blake put in the tree of Joey Lawrence. Escapes the position. But Henley straight on the attack with the hoedown. Flush onto the jaw. The shot typically used to earn the champion the dub. Down for the pin, but a kick out. Monroe staying alive. Keeping this battle going as Kiana James trying to get involved here. Not going to be able to do so. Instead, watching very closely as to what the champion challenger will do here. Obviously looking to aid Fallon Henley in every opportunity she can. As Monroe scaling to the top. Calling her shot, maybe. Count reaches 8. Henley returning to the ring. Breaks the count. And the match continues, but Monroe caught off guard. Irish whip by the champion. A drop down, usually followed with a leapfrog. A drop kick misses. Chop misses. Monroe capitalizing. Spinning neck breaker. Almost into a reverse Skull-crushing finale. The challenger springboard hits that trademark dropkick. The champ's down. Locked up here. Thought maybe we were going lasso from El Paso. It's not the case. Instead, it's a few big stomps to the back and a boot to the face as well. Monroe applying the pressure. Arm trapped. Wrenching back. Followed up with the double knees to the back. The champion in trouble here. As Monroe unloads and busts open Fallon Henley. Not something we typically see happen to the champion. As she's hooked up here, butterflied into the future shock DDT. The champion's down. 1, 2. No, nearly. Almost a new champion crowned. But Fallon Henley, blood trickling down the left side of her face. Pump handle sending Blake for a ride. Into the pin she goes. The referee follows it. 1, 2. No. And frustration kicking in here for the champion. We need something else. The Famouser might be that something else. Plants Monroe's head into the mat. 1, 2, 3. And the champ retains yet again. Revenge is best served with a championship defense, and Fallon Henley certainly delivers in big time matches. 2 for 2 so far, and 2 more to go before we reach cash out. With the competition narrowing down as to who can actually step up to the champion, questions are bound to be asked. As well, she hits the big shots every single step of the week, and it's big time victories here. Obviously, Kiana James doing her job, managing Henley to this victory as always, but you have to feel that soon the champion's gonna be able to do it all by herself, no backup needed. Certainly something that may come into mind for the general manager to bar anyone from Fatal Influence from ringside. But yeah, standard Fallon Henley victory here. Famouser earns the dub.
Here is your winner, and still the undisputed women's television champion, Fallon Henley.
The big issue, though, for Henley was she was pushed to the limits, busted open. And these weeks continue to roll on. Constant action's going to mean she is going to be broken and bruised all the way up to cash out. Can someone step up to beat her? We'll find out her next challenger in our co-main event for next week's World Championship defense. But until then, Fallon reigns supreme. Well, our second round of the Tag Team Classic Eliminator kicks off here with Pretty Deadly, victorious last week.
This is a tornado tag team match on the way to the ring at a combined weight of 357 pounds. Elton Prince and Kit Wilson, Pretty Deadly.
Victorious last week against a very game Gorillas of Destiny. God fell short against Pretty Deadly, which shocked quite a lot of the pundits, quite a lot of the analysts, because Pretty Deadly overall aren't, in some people's minds, on the same level as God. But tonight, they're the ones in the spotlight as they face the next top team in this division, the Motor City Machine Guns. Bear in mind, a win tonight advances Pretty Deadly into the Guns into a matchup with either Gallus or Team 3D, dependent on obviously how the seeding works out. But obviously, those two teams are waiting for their opponents. They'll be watching both our eliminators tonight. Because this one's said to be the speedy matchup.
Their opponents at a combined weight of 420 pounds, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns.
The Guns and Pretty Deadly, arguably the quickest two teams left in this tournament. As for the other side, obviously the Headbangers take on A-Town Down Under. A bit more of the powerhouse type brawl there. Realistically speaking, if the Guns win tonight, they could have a date with a team they've faced before in TNA, I believe, in Team 3D. Or they get a matchup that has nearly happened a few times here in IPW, but never to the extent of what is wanted. Obviously, Shelley and Sabin have faced Gallus, but it's never been the championship winning lineup. It's been Mark Coffey and Wolfgang they've faced as a unit. Tonight, well, next week, they could have a chance to face Joe and Mark Coffey in our tag team eliminators. Now, there are a few other situations or things that could come to pass. Obviously, Pretty Deadly could win tonight, and that would certainly scupper some of the plans, but you have to feel Motor City Machine Guns favored in this matchup, as Shelley drops the elbow across the throat. Meanwhile, Kit capitalizing on the mistake, more or less the opportunity to attack Shelley. Sabin running around trying to grab a weapon, but he is right in front of Elton Prince, who's going to stop him from grabbing a weapon there. But that's just going to make Sabin angry, and Sabin's going back on the attack. Remember, tornado tag rules apply in this matchup. No DQ, no count out. Pinfalls and submissions inside the ring, the ways to winners. Sabin's been busted open here by Elton Prince on the outside. Kit Wilson back to his feet, as is Elton Prince, and this is going to be where Pretty Deadly are very much their name. They isolate off someone, and it looks to be Sabin at this point in time. Shelley going to be forced to, well, no, reversed. He's on the attack now, delivering some big punches to Kit Wilson. Elton Prince caught, boot to his gut, and now carried over to the turnbuckle. Shelley trying to do it all for his team as he's got to go sky walking. Sliced bread number 2. Connecting And now Ripcord, no. Reversal, Kit Wilson, roll up, schoolboy pin. Saban's back to his feet as the pins reverse. Bridging over, goes Shelley, but a kick out there from Wilson keeps this match alive. Saban, gut kick connects. That TNA kick. And he's lining up Wilson here. Charging in, big haluva kick connects. Meanwhile, the Motor City stretch applied here. Rope break called. That is the one situation, one rule that does come into effect, into play here in Tornado Tag, is rope breaks. You gotta love them. The escape tool / mechanism teams need to survive submission holds. Elton Prince doing all the work here. He's targeted Shelley, forced him in the corner, and then goes straight after Saban. As the Guns have now isolated him. A 2v1, but Prince has just decked Shelley. And now is attacking Saban. Kit Wilson back into the picture. A schoolboy attempt here. Prince needs to really, and does so, grabs a hold of Shelley. And allows for Kit to basically go on the full offensive. Pinfall attempt now for Prince. 1, 2, nearly. And that sort of pin there was how Pretty Deadly earned the W last week over GOD. Just a fluke out of nowhere maneuver as, oh, a big face buster onto the chair. Prince sent flying into it by Shelley. It is a massive impact, but Wilson caught off the top. He's sent crashing down. That's why it's called the High Rent District, because when you come, or when you're caught in it, it's gonna hurt like hell when you come crashing down. And Saban, he makes Wilson pay, and now he's gonna maybe make Prince pay. Obviously the TNA kick connects, but it's not going to amount to any offense onto Elton Prince. Instead, it's Prince caught. Never mind. Leg lariat there from Saban. As it's now him and Wilson standing, but not for much longer as Wilson unloading some big shots. Shelley's back up now. On the outside, Fisherman's Buster drills Wilson into the floor. Saban with the big running knee connects flush on the jaw of Elton Prince and gets the dub. The Guns advance. And I've got a feeling they've got a date with Gallus. That will certainly be one for the ages. Because, let's be honest, when your son goes raise your fist and you're going up against the bruisers of Gallus, it's never a dull moment. And I expect some high-octane offense in that one. Yes, as we watch out the replays here, Pretty Deadly had their moments. That there was a big moment, though, for the Guns. Because Prince took a big shot. But this sealed the deal, that running high knee from Saban. Just knocking Prince out cold, giving the Guns the dub.
Here are your winners, Alex Shelley and Chris Saban, the Motor City Machine Guns.
Obviously, one more tag team eliminator tonight. Guns victorious in this one. Can the other top seed in the Headbangers advance to next week as well? We shall see soon enough. Well, it's time to get head shaky. Party atmosphere. As we are hit with the 90s. D'Lo Brown's in the house.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Chicago, Illinois. Weighing in at 268 pounds. D'Lo Brown.
Let's be honest, D'Lo, bit of a sensation here in IPW. You love his personality, his positivity on anything as he just unleashes it all in his performances here. And tonight, I think Eve Torres has kind of done him dirty with a very much a solo Sikoa play, as he's more or less being fed to a beast. As you can see, the bloodline.
And his opponent from Kissimmee, Florida, weighing in at 264 pounds, Tully Tonga.
Well, as the bloodline runs thick here on IPW Primetime, obviously the top champ in the company, the undisputed World Heavyweight Champion, is Roman Reigns. But this is an MFT, not a member of Roman's bloodline. Tala Tonga debuted last week as manager for GOD in their losing affair. And tonight, Eve Torres has said, you know what? You need to step up to the plate and shut down your opponent. He's here to make a statement, to make a claim, maybe, for a very contested television championship. Obviously, our main event tonight will see who is champion. But let's get underway as these two square off, collar and elbow tie up. And you gotta say, the power game's always gonna favor Tala Tonga, as does the size factor of this match. The second punch caught here by D'Lo, looking to get the quick win. Roll-up attempt, gonna get a 2 off of it. And in this very early affair, that is quite a surprising result. D'Lo gonna drop the elbow. Followed up with a second. Just trying to do damage to realistically a giant of a man. Surprisingly, D'Lo's gonna overpower him as well. Force him into the corner. Once again, a cheap shot. The option for Tala Tonga, who again caught waistlock now by D'Lo. Technical wrestling certainly standing in the favor of D'Lo Brown right now, as he's continuing to wrench away. Problem is, Tala, very wise to the effect, escapes the hold now, down into a headlock from seated position. D'Lo wrenching on this. Opts to put a knee to the back, and that ends our little bit of chain grappling. D'Lo on the attack, on the offensive. You can just see the hand there bending backwards as D'Lo continuing to stomp on it. Oh, look at them fingers bending. Almost breaking. And D'Lo, there's the little positivity, the little head shimmy. Because he's on the offensive, abdominal stretch applied, but as soon as it's applied, he's immediately sent for a ride. Tala Tonga gonna follow it up with some elbows, and this is where Tala Tonga wants to be on the offensive. We're yet to see really anything massive in terms of his power game just yet. He beckons D'Lo up. I would love to see a powerbomb or just like a chokeslam come out from Tala Tonga here. Something that can send D'Lo sky high. 1, 2, and a kick out. I was like thinking. I didn't intentionally line up the sky high with D'Lo going sky high, but Tala Tonga maybe about to deliver on some elevated offense. Springboard, wow. Caught though. D'Lo, scoop and a slam. Drops the leg. That was a very rapid leg drop. No time to react there for Tala Tonga. D'Lo sends him running. Tries to pick up the big man, cannot do so this time. Instead, Tala Tonga, a scoop and a slam, the power slam. Drills D'Lo into the mat. Only a 1. D'Lo, powerbomb, sits him out with it as well. I was saying it was going to be Tala delivering the powerful maneuvers. Instead, D'Lo's the one giving it and hits the lowdown as well. That frog splash landed awkwardly. Also hooking the leg quite awkwardly. Gets the 2 though. And now, advantage still to D'Lo. Hitting the big maneuvers. Tala Tonga's yet to give us really anything good to go off of. Able to reverse that situation. Tries to grab hold of D'Lo, but the issue is D'Lo's really quick. Now, scooped him up. Rikishi driver. Drills him down. Big knee as well. Falls into the cover. Tala Tonga's hit some big shots now. And gets a 2 count. Still not enough to earn the victory just yet. Maybe needs something else. Maybe it's a big powerbomb. But D'Lo beautifully executed with that power slam. Gold Dust X with it. The shimmy and the shake. The leg drop misses this time. Tala misses with the drop kick. He's going to be made to pay. D'Lo setting him up. Beautiful snap vertical suplex. A rib breaker attack there from D'Lo. This time, will he get it? Yes, he will. Leg drop applied. Elbow drop, not so much. He's sent for a run. Tala, no, caught. Taken down to the mat. Now D'Lo. Corking some big shots. Up. Shit, no. Stalling vertical suplex. And Tala's in the drop zone. D'Lo looking to fly. Hits, no, misses the lowdown. Tala's looking to capitalize. Will he be able to do so? He beckons D'Lo up. Fireman's carry. Gun stun. D'Lo gets up. Caught with the drop kick. Tala's quick to realize what D'Lo had done. And there's the big knee. Falls into the cover. 1, 2, 3, no. A kick out in time by D'Lo. Keeps this match going. But for how much longer as Tala hits a big back elbow? You gotta feel the big man's gonna look for a powerful shot to end this. Maybe that's it. No. Is the answer D'Lo's gonna give us. But something is definitely needed for Tala Tonga to end this. Sit out powerbomb from D'Lo. Maybe changing the course of this matchup once again. Irish whip. No, not going to go sky high. Instead, Tower. Backdropping D'Lo. There's some high elevation. As he watches on, waiting. Catching his breath here is Talatonga. And you've got to think he's going to look to end this here. D'Lo back to his feet. Caught. And power slammed into the mat. Hooked up. And spiked with the Rikishi driver. Pinfall attempt quite close to the rope. But it's not going to be enough because Talatonga nets victory here in his debut matchup. Honestly, a statement made by both these men. It was very heavy back and forth action. D'Lo went flying quite a bit. Hit the lowdown. It looks very much like a flush knockout shot there. Even double hooking that leg. Again, Talatonga kicked out and then the big man kind of woke up. Hit back with some big shots. D'Lo had really no option but to absorb the punishment. As the second big knee connected. Talatonga capitalize on a weakened D'Lo. Hit him with the Rikishi driver. And put him away.
Here is your winner, Talatonga.
An impressive victory for Talatonga. One for the bloodline for GOD that realistically they should have got last week. But tonight, he's the one that stands tall. It's time for our second Tag Team Classic Eliminator. As our last week winners enter the competition once again.
The following contest is a tornado tag team match. Making their way to the ring at a combined weight of 426 pounds. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, 8 pounds down under.
These two kind of had to bounce back against the LWO. A very close affair that was. Tonight, I've got a feeling that they may perform a little better against their opponents. Creativity is something you've got to give to A-Town Down Under with their innovative offense, but I'm going to have to say it, their opponents also bring the innovative style of offense, as it's time to get our heads smashed against the wall as the heavy metal begins headbanging to head.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 488 pounds. Mosh and Thrasher, the Headbangers.
As it's time to tune into some baby metal and Headbanger all our way to victory. These two certainly are crazy. And well, they bring their craziness into the ring as they look to take down A-Town Down Under. Waller and Theory look ready, as do the Headbangers. Let's kick it off. Our second tornado tag match of the evening. And well, A-Town Down Under have been taken down here by the Headbangers. Theory caught again. And he's going down for the ride. No. Fights out of that position. And now it's A-Town Down Under on the offensive. Theory planting Mosh with that DDT. It's Mosh in the claret. Thrasher in the navy blue. As that's a beautiful slingshot there by Theory to capitalize on Thrasher's maneuver. Pinfall attempt yet again, this time utilizing the ropes. Mosh finding out of Waller's grasp. As we said, this is very much an innovative brawl between these four stars. All bringers of creative offenses. Theory off the ropes. A big left hand drills Mosh down, followed up with a ripcord forearm smash onto Thrasher. Earns himself a 1 count as Theory Blue Thunder Bomb sends Mosh for a ride. Meanwhile, a Manhattan drop. Gonna put Waller down for a moment. Theory can't capitalize on his maneuver as well. Mosh is swinging for the fences, hitting his own partner here. This is an interesting situation. Waller back into the picture, but he's not going to be able to attack. Maybe now he is. Chop block to the back of Thrasher's leg, and you have to feel this sort of matchup is more so favored to A-Town Down Under. So that's a beautiful maneuver from Waller. I don't really think that the Headbangers are a team to typically go for weaponry. Theory and Waller love to play it dirty, play it cheap. I think that's more in their repertoire. As Mosh chasing down Waller. And well, I'm mistaken as there's a Blue Thunder from Theory. But there's a sledgehammer coming out from Mosh. Just targeting the knee of Grayson Waller. And honestly, if you're A-Town Down Under, you kind of want a better performance than last week. Theory really was unable to get going in that matchup. This week, he looks to be the workhorse for the team, as he has done a lot of work here to Thrasher, in which he's now looking to get the dub. Pinfall attempt earns a 2, but a kick out given by Thrasher keeps this matchup alive. But Mosh gonna ensure the situation is in favor of the Headbangers. Powerbomb position. Waller in trouble. Gun stunned on the top rope. And that small interference from Mosh has given the Headbangers control of the situation. But right now, this isn't controlled. It is offense from Waller as he butterflies that DDT. Thrasher now the only man standing. Theory joins him standing. Double axe connects. And Thrasher's heading back up. If Waller stays on the offensive, he can stop that stage dive, but he doesn't. And instead, it's Thrasher going for the pin. The stunner connects from Waller, who breaks that pin up. Meanwhile, Thrasher calling timeout as he tag teams and duos up with Waller to hit that big shot to Theory. Mosh out of the picture. I would also say so is Theory. for that brief moment. Obviously, Waller hitting that rolling stunner is very impactful as Theory kicking out at 1. Waller finding out the grasp of Mosh. Thrasher again backing up his partner, keeping this team safe. Theory's rolling out, which isn't good for Waller. He's isolated in a 2v1. Thrasher gonna make him pay. Alley-oops him out the corner and goes for the pin. 1 and a kick out. Waller, the fresher of the 2 members of A-Town Down Under. Certainly able to take a little bit more punishment. Able to kick out a little easier. Theory, not so much. But Waller scoops him up. Backbreaker there. And drops the elbow. High elevation on that elbow drop as well. Waller forcing Thrasher out. Spear sends him flying. And Theory with a kendo stick in hand. A-Town Down Under. Bringing it to the headbangers. Lariat might change that tune. As Thrasher yet again standing up. He has been probably the best man in the headbangers. Probably in this match outside of maybe Waller. Double axe connects onto 2 men. One of them his partner. The low blow attempted there by Waller, but that's not going to work out for him. Instead, it is Thrasher sending him running. Scoop and a slam. Puts Waller down. Wisely rolls out the way. Not going to be stage dove. Instead, burning hammer onto the kendo stick. Mosh sending Theory for a loop. And I'm amazed Austin Theory kicks out of that. Maybe not the second, though. See ya. Good night, Theory. Waller can't save you now. Pinfall attempt. Mosh into the win, maybe. No. What in the world? How does one kick out of 2 burning hammers? Well, we need to ask Austin Theory. Because he is now planted. The scoop and a slammer set up for the stage dive. Waller snaps suplex. He can save this matchup for his team. Does so. He breaks up the pin on Theory. That was almost it. The stunner connects. Waller is doing it all for A-Town Down Under. Now with a kendo stick in hand. Swing for the fences. He busts open Mosh. But Mosh no-sells it. And now Mosh is on the attack. Swinging neck breaker. Theory caught. Collared. It is beautiful madness here in this tag team eliminator. Grayson Waller, a one-man wrecking crew, biding time for Theory to get back up. Super kick misses, the steps being a menace. Theory caught onto the shoulders of Mosh. Snake eyes. Waller in covered right now by Thrasher. Kicks out in time. The action picking up as Waller avoids the shot from Mosh. But the second one, he does fight back on. He grabs a hold of him. Theory on the offensive for the first time in a long time. Deadlift gut wrench into the powerbomb. Theory sending Thrasher onto the announce table. Screw it. Throw the sledgehammer. This is chaos. This is desperation by all these involved. Theory waiting for Thrasher, but he is caught. No, it's Thrasher caught, sent off of the desk, and now inside the ring, Waller lines up Mosh, butterflies him, goes for the cover. 1, 2, no. We're not going down under just yet. A little more needed. STO from Waller sends Thrasher to the apron. Caught though. Theory, no, not going to team up with Waller. Said he's going to look for Mosh. Big lariat connects. Pinfall by Thrasher. He thinks he's done enough, but Waller's pretty fresh. The one he needs to get is Theory, but Theory connects with a super kick and he sends him flying into the pin with that pendulum attack. Mosh sends Theory into the burning hammer. Drills him down. Mosh is caught though. Waller saves his partner. Rolls him through. Waller to the outside. We know what's coming. Rolls into the ring. Hits the stunner. Goes for the cover. Simultaneous pins. Who's getting the count? It's the Headbangers. But I have a... that was honestly 2 pins at one time. Neither man kicked out in time. I'm going to have to disagree with our referee's decision here. Neither team won. A double pinfall. The result here. As we'll get the replay on who actually entered the pin first. Because this was such a beautiful matchup. I've got to say it. It's going to be a triple threat next week. Whether or not our general manager will agree, it deserves to be after this epic matchup. So we're nearing the end of these replays. That pendulum attack from Theory came quite late. This was where Waller waited, bided his time after the burning hammer. He set up Mosh for this. Rolls into the ring, hits the stunner. Goes into cover at the same time. Our referee really should have counted both pins.
Here are your winners, Mosh and Thrasher, the Headbangers.
After video review, I've got to say, and I'm getting word right now, Eve Torres is making it official. Triple threat next week. Headbangers, A-Town Down Under, and Team 3D. That's going to be one hectic battle, but the Eliminators still aren't done. We've not eliminated a second team tonight, but one thing's for sure, we're going to eliminate 2 women from title contention in our next bout. It's time for a little taste of triple threat action as we go timeless.
The following contest is a triple threat match. Making her way to the ring from Auckland, New Zealand, Toni Storm.
The timeless one. It's been in the hunt for a title shot in this women's division for quite some time. She rose up the rankings in the build-up to Resolve, but obviously didn't do enough to earn the title match. And tonight she's in a number 1 contendership situation, going up against 2 of the other big stars in this women's division. And, well, I, for one, cannot wait to see who comes out on top here. Storm addresses her adoring fans. The level of competition in IPW is certainly rising. Obviously, earlier today we saw Blake Monroe challenge for the television championship, but tonight, challenging for the gold isn't enough.
Her opponents, first, from Dallas, Texas, Fallen Hero, Goddess.
As the fallen goddess Athena is set to compete here now against one of her biggest rivals. These two battled most recently at Forbidden Door. And now they get to go toe-to-toe in the IPW arena. Here on Primetime, we're delivering certainly on the action. I mean, our last match over-delivered in all aspects of what I expected, but it was pretty hectic. And now, can the Empress of the Fallen Angel, the Fallen Goddess, what am I on about? Athena. Looks ready. But one twisted change makes this a triple threat. Got the Fallen Goddess, but how about the true Goddess?
From Columbus, Ohio, Alexa Bliss.
As the Wub Wubs fill the arena, the Goddess of Pro Wrestling steps into the picture ready to showcase why she deserves to be in the title picture. Something she's yet to be in here in IPW, but let's be honest, she deserves to be there. As Little Miss Bliss steps into the ring. A co-main event, a triple threat match to determine our number one contender for next week's Undisputed Women's World Championship bout. Bliss and Storm on the gates first. And that's a dropkick from Athena that's busted open. Bliss, snap German from Storm. And now Bliss rolls up, attempt trying to steal the victory early. All three of these women certainly bring interesting offense. Honestly, very similar stature for them all on the shorter side. But the other big thing is they pack quite a hefty punch. As Storm, backbreaker there. As Athena caught, tripped up by Tony. As a timeless one. Now targeting Bliss once again. Sends her running, puts her in the corner as Athena blocks the roundhouse. Oh, big chops now from Athena. As a Fallen Goddess. Sent flying now by Bliss. And this is a situation we need to really understand. Alexa, very capable, high-flying offense. Similar to what Athena can do with the O-face. Storm, obviously, very quick with her finishing maneuvers. As that Storm Zero can just smash someone. Big headbutt there by Storm. She drops Bliss with it, and now caught by Athena. Just slams the head into the mat. Deadlift power. Oh! Onto the baseball bat. That shot pretty heavy from Athena onto the timeless one there. A big right from Bliss. Keeps the pressure on. And I've got to feel Storm may be concussed at this point in time in this matchup. But she can still win this. And this is the big thing about this matchup. While Fallon Henley is defending the championships every week, the #1 contenders are also being forced to fight in big-time wars. And, well, when the weaponry's brought into the picture, whiplash markings are certainly going to be felt across their bodies. And recovering ahead of next week is something that's quite difficult to do. As Jesus Christ, that was a loud noise. Storm sends Athena to the apron. Bliss catches her. Not going to be caught in the corner. Athena recuperates, comes back into the ring. You have to feel she's going to go straight on the offensive. Or they're maybe going to work together. No. The answer's not. Instead, it's Athena dropping Storm. Big right hand there. Delivering that shot. Bliss putting Athena in the corner. Scoop. Slam. Puts her down. Bliss is going to climb. Insult. Why not? Add the injury to it. And Storm caught. Hooked up. Blissful DDT on the kendo stick. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. No. Near fall there for the goddess. She's not done. Double knees connecting again. Athena now on the offensive. Hooks up Bliss. Sends her for a little bit of a spin. Hooks in, Dragon Sleeper applied here. That's in deep. Athena, will she get the tap? The answer's no. Instead, Springboard hits the back elbow onto Storm, but the Timeless One does not care for one's back elbow. Instead, she's going to be arm dragged down. Athena tries to get spinning gut kick, can't do so. Instead, opts to grab Storm, puts her in the corner. Fired up Athena. Has Timeless Toni Storm in trouble. Leg trap. As that's a kendo stick from Bliss. Misses the drop kick in the corner. Storm unloading some big shots, but Bliss firing back. Inverted face buster. Oh, the back of the head buster. Kendo stick not going to connect from Athena. Instead, Code Red from Bliss into the pin. 1 and a kick out. None of these ladies giving an inch. Bliss in control right now. Snake Eyes busts open Storm. Goes for the cover. Athena breaking it up, keeping the match alive. But this match really in its infancy, I feel. As Storm sends Bliss running. Ducks the line, but the second one connects. Bliss into the cover once again. Gonna utilize the ropes, remember. No DQ in a triple threat, so utilizing the ropes for leverage is legal. Storm trying to get a DDT in play, can't do so. Bliss kicking out of that position. Wasteland onto Storm, but she's caught now. Athena pops her up into the knee. Into the cover. 1, 2, 3. No. A near fall. Athena almost stole this matchup. I got a feeling though, Storm biding her time, ready to uncork a big shot. A Storm Zero might be brewing. Well, I spoke just before it did. There's the Storm Zero. Athena Can't stop Storm. Big lariat from the Timeless One. And that's kind of an opportune moment, I would have said, to go for the pin onto Bliss, but instead Storm opts for a kendo stick. Hawks the shots onto the two ladies. Bliss counters it. Blissful DDT. Athena's back up. Storm's down for the picking. Nightwing from Athena. Drills Bliss down. Goes for the cover onto Storm. 1, 2. And a kick out by the Timeless One here. Keeps this matchup alive. Bliss now back up. Sends Athena running. The referee gets involved. Gets in the way, but does not matter. Backbreaker from Bliss. And then a lariat drops Storm. Insult. Why not? Injury. Added in. Storm down. Athena is slowly getting back up. Is it in time? The answer's no, because Storm's forced to kick out. Double knees from Athena. A bit of injury from her onto Bliss. And now the Fallen Goddess isolating the Timeless One. Bliss gets back up. Fires off a shot. Avoids the grab. Can't avoid this one. Back elbow. Followed up with a second. Add a third. Compliment to the Fallen Goddess. Side Russian leg sweep. Bridges into the pin. Floating nicely into it. And gets the win. The Fallen Goddess earns victory here over the Timeless Toni Storm and Alexa Bliss. A big victory for her. And it does set her up with a date with the champion next week in our main event. Speaking of main events, we've got a big one on the cusp of action. It is a title rematch. The Fiend looks to reclaim his television championship against the Monster Abyss. We're moments away from that matchup. But as we watch these replays out, you've got to say, it was a solid performance from Alexa Bliss. Certainly the workhorse of the match. But in the most opportune moments, Athena strikes and secures the dub.
Here is your winner, Fallen Hero, Goddess!
And earns the W to face Henley in the main event next week.
The following contest is a Hell in a Cell match and is for the Undisputed Television Championship.
Well, we did say it was a championship bout. What we didn't mention was we're going to be trapped in the Firefly Funhouse. As well as we let him in to the Primetime arena. Things are set to hurt and then to be healed if he can reclaim his championship. As the Fiend looks ready. Bray Wyatt set to become a 3-time television champion if he can win tonight. A feat yet to be achieved by anyone in the television division. Wyatt could become the first. The only man that is in a similar position is the Demon, Finn Balor. But again, Balor, out of chances, failed to recapture in his rematch for the gold. As such, if the Fiend loses, I guess you could say the division is freed from the Fiend. That is for now, but they still have to contend with the monster, who, well, is going to be in a bit of a interesting situation. Going up against a Fiend in his speciality of a matchup never looks promising. But if he is able to beat Bray Wyatt in this twisted hell, this landscape of IPW will change. And it's time for the first time to see the champion in action since garnishing the championship on Halloween. Cue the fire as the TV championship sits around his waist. Abyss looks ready to defend for the first time the prized belt of the television division. Obviously, we've seen one title defense successfully done tonight, with the Women's Television Championship defended. Abyss looking to make it 2 for 2 in defenses, but before we get to that, official championship introductions are needed. Alicia Taylor, take him away.
Introducing the challenger from parts unknown, weighing in at 285 pounds, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt! And his opponent from parts unknown, weighing in at 350 pounds, the undisputed television champion. He is the monster, Abyss.
Both from the same place, parts unknown. But one thing that will separate these two is who will be leaving tonight's main event as champion. Will it be the Fiend? Or can Abyss retain in his first title defense? These two giants stand ready and get us underway with our main event. A backdrop suplex kicks off the action here by the Fiend. As we bring the camera in close, we have our ring post cam in play to allow us to get a better view of the Fiend trying to brawl with Abyss. Shot dodge there, but the follow-up punches are not. Scoop and a slam from Abyss. Reversal from the Fiend, who misses his running crossbody. It's interesting that you would have to say that these two very eerily similar Two big boys who bring power to their game. Both masked stars who really can just creep people out. As, well, the Fiend summons up Abyss to his feet. Punch caught. Headbutt delivered. As a monster slams the head of Abyss into the mat. Gonna hoist him into the air. Runs the ropes. Can't drop the splash because the legs go up from the Fiend. Now the Fiend gets to go on the offensive. Going for the cover. One and a kick out. Now remember, in some people's eyes, the Fiend realistically should not have lost his championship. Drawing unlucky number 1 in the Halloween Rumble. He basically was set up for failure, set up to lose his championship. Which is why Eve Torres set up this title rematch. Abyss trying to lift up. The Fiend can't do so. Instead, going to be sent. No, sends the Fiend running to the outside. Camera follows him down. We have our drone inside the cage. Set to keep up with the action. Here's the Fiend. Sends Abyss back in. You gotta feel the Fiend, who's now looking for weapons. And that's a table in his hand, brought into the ring. Never a good sign to see weaponry brought into the picture if you're the one who's set to go through it. And right now, the champion, and snapping off the back of that rope. Did not go over the top. And the Fiend's looking to choke him out. Mandible claw applied. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out by the champ. To keep this matchup in his favor. Alive and kicking, but look at what the Fiend's doing. Crawling over slowly. Target in his sight. Hooks him up. A kiss goodnight, because that's Sister Abigail. The champion down. And maybe going for a wooden ending. If the Fiend gets his way. Mandible claw applied again. Choking the life out of Abyss. The cover kicked out of. Abyss back to his feet. He survives the situation. He's gonna send the Fiend for a ride, maybe. No, back elbow. Dissuades the situation for the Fiend. Trying to maybe send him flying, can't do so. Instead, Schoolboy rolls up the Fiend. The challenger in trouble, kicks out at 1. I have a feeling Abyss might look to end it. And he is. Powerbomb position. Through the table goes the challenger. And Abyss isn't done yet. A scoop. And a toss. The challenger sent flying out to ringside. Then, no, not into the stairs, but almost goes flying into them. Big uppercut. There's a champ and challenger going back and forth. Abyss back up to his feet. Uh-oh. Not good for you. Massive impact there. As the Fiend sent crashing to the mat with a mother effing bomb. Sent flying as he's tossed about. The champion feeling himself here. All he has to do is send the challenger through a black hole, it seems. But the Fiend, he's wise to it. Caught though. Can't scoop the slam. Chop block from the champ. Evening the odds. Vice grip applied to the head. Big boot follows through. You know it's gotta come soon. The champion in dire need of that finish, because right now I've got a feeling the Fiend's looking to end this. Irish whip sends Abyss out. And you gotta think maybe, just maybe, this could be the beginning of the end, but Abyss sends the Fiend into the cage. Does it again. Punch connects. And we look at this main event. Honestly, the champ is showing why he earned the championship. The Fiend showing why he is the former champion. An uppercut there from Abyss. And we're toward the ring right now, inside the cage as well. The Fiend reciprocates the uppercut with one of his own. A headbutt connects. As we bring the camera back into play. The Irish whip not gonna work out here. But maybe something else will. A headbutt forces Abyss around. We are certainly touring the ring. Another headbutt here by the Fiend. This time is still sending Abyss around the ring. Slams him into the cage once more. We have done a full loop of the arena. Of the ring, I should say. Abyss returning to the ring. Realizing he may be better off in here. Grabs a hold of the challenger. Torture rack bomb. Slams him down into the mat. Spirals him as well. Cover for the champion. Almost gets the win. A 2 count. And that's a precursor. Could this be it? Black hole slam connects. The champion into the cover. 1, 2. And a kick out. Given by the challenger. How about a second? Black hole slam. This time, quick execution. No pullback. And the champion retains. What a brawl. The early stages were very much all the Fiend. He showed his supernatural strength. He tried to choke out Abyss, but unable to net the victory off of the mandible claws. It certainly became worrisome for the Fiend. Had he burnt his best shots early, well, that was certainly answered as this match rolled on. Abyss fired back with his big shots. And once they toured the ring, once they re-entered the squared circle, we were given the answer. A torture rack bomb. And then a couple of black hole slams ended the night for the Fiend, as he was unable to answer the 3 count. But this does put a good statement in for the champion, able to show why he deserves to be television champion by earning this victory here. And it does put us in an interesting position of who next? Who gets to face the monster?
Here is your winner, and still the undisputed television champion. He is the monster, Abyss.
Well, that question may be answered in a couple weeks' time as we close out tonight's episode of Primetime. We look forward to breakdown this coming Thursday, and from there we've got no IPW Underground. But if you missed this week's episode, you missed some pretty big things, so I'll let you catch up on that. That is obviously in the live tab on my YouTube channel. Go watch that. But until then, thank you for joining me tonight. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new around here if you want to. And I'll see you guys on Thursday for Breakdown.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that stack, taking big